In order, please.
Ross,
Here.
Hamilton,
Here.
Hart,
Present.
Robinson,
Here.
Baxter,
Here.
Harris,
Here.
Fowler,
Here.
and Insularco.
Thank you. Everybody, please stand for Edgar and the prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight, and we thank you, Lord, for letting us serve the citizens of North Little Rock. Father, we just ask for your wisdom and discernment for our leaders, and we also ask for your safety for our first responders. In Jesus' name we pray.
Thank you. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Second.
Motion second.
Ross,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Hart,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Baxter,
Yes.
Harris, and Fowler.
Yes.
Communications, I think. Go ahead, Mr. Baxter.
I'd like to pull number 2, please. And at the same time, can I move to accept and file 1, 3, and 4?
Yes, sir.
Second.
Okay, on the motion to file 1, 3, and 4, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Fowler.
Yes.
Would you like number 2 read by title or by its entirety?
Entirety, it's not that long. Please.
Like the whole thing. This or just that?
Yep, all of that. Here.
Okay, Government Finance Officer Association's news release for immediate release. Chicago, Illinois Government Finance Officer Associations of the United States and Canada has awarded the Certificate of Achievements for Excellence in Financial Reporting to the City of North Little Rock for its annual comprehensive financial report for the fiscal year ended December 31st, 2024. The report has been judged by an impartial panel to meet the high standards of the program, which includes demonstrating a constructive spirit of full disclosure to clearly communicate its financial story and motive potential users and user groups to read the report. The Certificate of Achievement is the highest form of recognition in the area of governmental accounting and financial reporting, and it's what is that word?
Mayor, if I might, again, just kudos to
Okay.
Ms. Ember and her staff down there at Finance. Appreciate the hard work that you put in each and every day, you and your staff, and winning this prestigious award again. So you have a string to uphold. You're now on a streak.
There you go.
Thank you.
Way to go, Amber. Appreciate you.
Do you have a motion
Move to accept and file.
Thank you. Okay, on the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Fowler.
Yes.
Thank you. On the consent agenda, if anybody would like to put, Ms. Ross, yes.
R 2640.
Full 2640. Anybody else?
Are you pulling it from the agenda or pulling to read?
To read.
To read,
She's
okay,
going to put
thank
it,
you.
Mr.
And talk
Hamilton.
about and discuss.
Thank you.
Mr. Hamilton,
R 2639.
okay? And you want to pull it, or you?
No, I'd like to,
He's going to pull it and read it, right?
pull it off the consent agenda.
All right.
R
'Cause
26,
city council members can't pull things off the agenda,
I know,
just
I
pull them
know.
off the consent agenda.
So it's on the consent agenda. He wants it pulled and read.
yeah,
R
R
2639.
2641.
Okay. Anything else?
Give me just 1 second. R 2649. R 2654. And that's all.
All right, let me go back over these. We're going to approve this for an aye vote on R 2637. 38, 40,
No, we're pulling that one.
I'm sorry, I waited Debbie pulled that, I'm sorry, Debbie, I apologize, yes, we're pulling that one. So we're pulling 37, 38, give me a sec to flip pages here, so I'll be correct. 42, 43, 44, 45, and 46, 47, 48, 50, 51, 52, 53, 55, 56, 57, and 58. I can ask for an aye vote on those. I appreciate it, if that's correct. Did I miss any? Anybody?
All in favor?
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So be it. Then we're going to bring us down to R 2639. It needs to be called, if you don't mind, read.
Mayor Hartwig, a resolution waiving formal bidding requirements for comprehensive loss and business interruptions insurance for the Murray Hydroelectric Plant, authorizing the mayor to execute an insurance agreement.
Thank you.
Motion to adopt?
Second.
Motion to adopt, second. Yes, sir, Mr. Hamilton.
Could I ask some questions about this in terms of what would happen if we didn't have this insurance?
Come on up,
I
Ryan.
imagine something very bad, but
I think the insurance is for things that, if it does happen bad, it insures us, but so is that.
if we didn't have it, then.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, so Ryan Wilson, North Little Rock Electric. So if we didn't have the coverage, so right now we cover roughly 140 million of our equipment
At the hydro?
at the hydro, correct? If we didn't have it and something bad happened, we'd have to be on the hook for the capital expenditures to take care of it, which would be astronomically high. I mean, you see some of those line items are quite high on the agenda. So,
So, and we get this annually, right?
yes.
So this is approximately between 300,000,
Right, it's usually in the $300,000 range.
okay, for
As
insurance.
a matter
for
of
the
fact,
hydro.
this is a slight decrease in premium over last year's.
I
So
think it's
we
necessary. I appreciate you.
hire a consultant, puts out kind of a quote RFQ to get back pricing for all of these large entities. So,
Thank you.
absolutely.
There's a motion, second. Any more discussion? Okay.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart? Yes. Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris? Yes. Fowler?
Yes.
Ms. Ross, on R 2640, please.
So read it and then we could discuss it.
Mayor Hartwig, a resolution supporting an application for better utilizing investment to leverage development
Discretionary.
grant funds to assist the planning, environmental, and engineering costs of rebuilding the Main Street Viaduct Bridge and other purposes.
Ms. Ross.
Move to accept and file.
Not
I mean,
accepted.
I mean,
Thank you.
There's a motion, second. Now up for discussion. Ms. Ross.
do we need to get on the floor first?
Was there a motion and a second?
There was a motion, a second.
Second.
Okay.
Then Ms. Ross.
Okay. I've been talking to David Cook and Ember on this quite a bit, and I was just going to see if they would come up and kind of give us an overview of what this is. I mean,
Mr.
what we're
Cook
approving tonight is just for
and Ms.
planning, the
Strange.
environmental, and engineering, just to get it shovel-ready, because I know that being shovel-ready and grants come along, you're put at the top of the list.
We've been talking about this
So,
for quite a
I
while.
wanted-
Mr. Cook, do you understand the question?
I
Go
do,
ahead,
yes, sir. David Cook, Chief City Engineer. Our grants manager and our finance department's been working for a while on this one, getting information from me, and all that Councilmember Ross is correct. It is just the planning, environmental, geotech work, everything to get through to a final design. So the project ideally will be shovel-ready, barring any right-of-way easement acquisitions.
Ms. Strange?
I just want to add that if you all remember correctly, not quite a year ago, we came to you and included a resolution for match money for the congressionally directed spending funds. And we were also just going with the planning approach on that grant. We have applied for 6 grants since 2022 for the bridge. The first one, we had hired a consultant before we had the grant manager position. So we went for the consulting and the construction all in total. Some of the feedback we got back were on these larger grant programs like the RAISE back then. I'm going to assume like the build, this is a pretty large one. They were looking for shovel-ready projects, and they gave us the feedback that if we would scale it back and just apply for planning first, get through that, then we would have a better chance at getting one of the larger construction grants. So that's what we're doing. The congressionally directed spending funds that we applied for last year, they did go through the House and Senate, and the president has signed off on those. But I told David and my grants manager that until we have a formal award letter, I did not want to hold up from applying for this grant, and everyone agreed, because hopefully by the time we get a formal award notice for that, this project wouldn't be through the grant review and we could just withdraw. But I don't want something to happen with that CDS money and us have not taken the time to apply for this grant.
And then on the build grant, I know that it's 25 million is the minimum that you can apply for on that grant.
That's actually the maximum. That was
25?
a typo that
Oh,
we're
okay.
going to correct as
So
a
25 is the
scrivener's
maximum,
error.
which will not cover the bridge, though, will it? I mean, I know that,
Not the entirety of the construction.
okay, all righty.
And one other thing that I guess I would like to point out is this grant is due tomorrow. We've been working on it for months. The grants manager is still fairly new. He's not even been here a year yet. So he's been watching trainings and such. He found out, I guess, like the day after, before the council meeting, when we had to submit things to legal. So we couldn't go through at the last minute and get that to you all on the agenda. He's got the account set up and ready, and all we do is upload this information online.
Okay, so if the other one comes through before this one, I mean, how's that work? I mean, if we do actually get the federal,
If this grant comes through before the other one,
how does that work?
we'll have to withdraw, which I believe David is constantly in contact with Jimmy Harris with Bozeman's office, who they're strong advocates on this project. So if we get to that point, we'll reach out to them first.
All right, thank you.
Any more questions? Mr. Hamilton?
Ms. Strange, what's our unrestricted reserve?
I haven't run it since the last time we talked about it at a meeting. I'm working on getting year end right now. Unrestricted without the reserve requirement.
So, yeah, we've got the 25% ordinance where we,
Right.
rainy day fund, I call it the tornado fund.
Yeah.
But ironically, we didn't, flood, we didn't need to use it. But
If we
that's
take
the
that out,
25%. Take that out, that's like 25 million or 22 million, something like that.
this is, yeah, just a rough
So
estimate.
just the unrestricted, not covered by ordinance, just
I'd say off the cuff, 20 million.
20 million. Okay,
Any other questions?
yes.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, today I requested the application, and your staff was kind enough to send it to me. I'd like to know if I got the entirety of the application.
I don't know, did you?
I did not see what you got.
What I sent to you, I forwarded it to you
The-
around noon.
Yep.
That was the most recent, I don't know if that's the final either. That is the most recent thing I received from the grants manager to review it. Now, I don't know if that's the official, but that was sent to me Friday, what I got Friday afternoon
Okay.
from the grants manager. And
Okay.
and I didn't have any changes to it.
Okay. I know procedurally I'm supposed to ask the mayor, right?
Mayor, is it, like, I think that if you have questions for staff that the mayor has called up, that it's fine to ask
Okay.
them
I just-
directly. If-
I
as
don't
long as
know
the mayor
who's
doesn't have any
exactly-
objection. That's why he brought him up here.
Okay. What's the likelihood that we might get this going, like from construction to planning? That seems like an improvement,
What's the likelihood that what?
that we'll get this grant?
I can't speak to that. I don't
Okay.
know.
What's the current rating of the bridge, and how long has it been rated that way?
From my memory, RDOT has a website where they show all of the bridge ratings, and it is, on their website, it is rated poor among quite a few others in the county.
Okay. How long has it been rated that way?
That I do not know.
So what phase is this project currently in? Are we in concept, planning, preliminary engineering, design?
We have conceptual plans right now just for what we need to, make a good run at applications for planning and design grants. We have a typical section layout that we have kind of narrowed down that shows a shared use path on one side, and it allows for the trolley. There's a concrete slab on one of the lanes to get the trolley on to 13th Street if that ever is a desire in the future. But it provides those capabilities.
So what percent, I'm sorry.
Can
go
I
ahead.
have
Yeah,
something to
absolutely.
add to that? And if you remember correctly, in the 2026 budget, we did set aside $600,000 to start working on this project regardless if we were to get the grant or not.
I thought that $600,000 in the budget was what was committed from our meeting during the summer last year, which was a match for the congressionally directed spending.
No, this was a new 600,000 we put in this year.
So currently there is $1.2 million
Well, we
set
have
aside?
we have a resolution that said if we got that, we would put 400,000. So we had not done it yet, but we have committed to if we got that money. Then we added 600,000 so we could get this ball rolling with some of this environmental stuff that David needs to. Because as long as we have the resolution where you all have said, if we get the grant, we have this money sitting here, we will match it.
It's restricted,
Right,
in other words.
right.
So approximately how much do we have restricted now for this project?
If I remember correctly, that was about
I thought it was 600.
450,000. Well, we
450
can
is
double
this one.
check.
Okay.
But the 600,000 went in the budget. I thought that was 450, but I haven't gone back to
I
that
saw
minute.
the line item for the Main Street Viaduct, and that was the only thing I saw in the budget that was restricted for the Main Street Viaduct, and that was 600,000. So,
And that's what I'm saying. In the past, when we did the RAISE grant, we passed a resolution that said if we got the grant, we would set aside, I believe it was like 10 million, but again, that was years ago, so I have to go back and look. So we didn't do it. We were approving it, and if we got the resolution, we were saying, yes, the funds were there, and yes, we'll do this to let the granting agency know we're committed to the project.
absolutely. So I appreciate that. I didn't realize that the resolution we passed, I guess it's a resolution, so it doesn't actually appropriate money.
We did not in that one. Now, we do
Okay.
lots of resolutions where we specifically say that, but because it was off something contingent,
Like this one.
right.
Okay. Okay. So what percentage of the design has been completed? Like in this project, are we at zero in terms of the design process? 0%, 10%, 20%, 30%?
As far as the design goes, I would say zero because we haven't done surveys or anything on this yet. Everything we have is conceptual, based on, just to provide, like I mentioned earlier, to provide just a typical section to show exactly kind of what we're looking at doing to make our applications more competitive.
And you have to go through the NEPA
Correct.
first,
Yes.
the environmental review,
Correct.
which is what this grant applies for that because that's costly.
Okay. So what's the projected timeline for the project from today through construction, including
Okay,
planning,
thank you.
design, environmental review, and funding?
I'm not the engineer, but I would not assume we have that detailed information until we get through phase one.
We have a rough estimate. I do not have that on me, and I can send that to you tomorrow morning.
If you send it to everybody, please.
I will, yes, sir. And so that is something we include in the application process.
By the way, will you yield for Mr. Fowler, or you want to keep it for a sec?
He's still got questions, Mayor.
As long as we can come back, I have
No,
plenty
go
of
ahead and
questions.
keep on going then. Let's get it out of the way.
Okay. Is that okay with you?
Sure.
What's the earliest realistic date construction could begin? under our current pace?
If memory serves me correctly, we have a fairly detailed schedule that we got from our consultant as far as for the application purposes, and that includes a little bit of leeway for any right-of-way easement acquisitions we need to obtain. I would be guessing, because I'm not looking at the chart right in front of me.
Sure.
And if
The
that-
application says design process would start about October 2026.
I think so.
So how
Is that
long
what-
would design probably take?
I want to say it was in the 16 to 18-month range, but I can confirm that whenever I send that out to everybody, because we did create a schedule for this.
David, it was right at 2 years.
For the planning?
Yes, to get the
And
conceptual
design.
drawing back to us, it'd be almost 18 months is what we heard.
18, I think that's
Yeah.
what I remember seeing was 18 months from,
And that's from October.
correct.
So from now, it's almost
Fiscal
2
year.
years, yeah.
And that included, starting with surveys, doing the environmental work, any geotech work that needs to be done, preliminary design through the final design.
We haven't done any of that yet.
None of that has been done.
Okay. That covers a couple of my questions. What specific steps have we taken to get this project grant ready? As Councilmember Ross said, being shovel ready for grants, you get to the top of the list.
Not to the top.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was just quoting.
So when you say grant ready, I
Shovel
think I
ready.
know. What have we
Said
done to
shovel
get it
ready.
shovel-
What's,
I think that just going through these processes, setting aside money and giving David resources to get these processes that he's talking about that are gonna take some time in themselves. We, unfortunately, back in 2022, when we hired that consultant, we felt good about that. She was a highly respected consultant. She felt good about it. She continues to write a lot of grants. But then that took time. So then, we took that application, vamped it up a little bit, went on to the Bridge Investment Program, which was specifically for bridges. So again, we felt really good about that. But as we mentioned about the budget, now we've set those $600,000 aside for David to start working with the engineers and whoever else he needs to for the environmental regardless of this. And I think you're starting that process and updating the information for this grant. He's getting the ball rolling on those things.
Okay.
In addition to, we've written letters, multiple letters, and received feedback to our congressman and up in Washington DC, and we've met with a couple representatives. One even came down here and I drove her around and showed her the bridge so she could report back. And as Ember said earlier, in addition to talking to Senator Bozeman's representative, Jimmy Harris, on a constant basis, because they are very, very much invested in this project, as shown by allowing us funds and then the congressionally directed funds.
And not only does David talk to them every January when I go to DC, I have meetings on the Hill where I get to talk to some different people from those offices as well. So we are hounding, bridge, don't forget about us, and telling them what we're doing, so.
Okay. So have we applied for any other federal planning or construction grants in the past 3 years?
Yes, so I'll go backwards from where we're at right now.
You said 6 prior to this one.
Yeah, so right now, the build, we have this resolution to apply tomorrow. We applied for a state grant in December,
How much was that for?
in October. We got notified in December, we didn't get it. That was only $400,000, but it was eligible for us to apply, so we wanted to do that. That was the state hazard
That was
mitigation grant.
2025?
Yes,
That was
October.
400,000?
Yes. Before that, in May 25 is when we submitted the FY 26 congressionally directed spending appropriation. May 24 is when we submitted the FY 25 CDS money. September 22 is when we submitted for the Bridge Investment Program
What
grant.
year of 2022?
9/22. And then 4/22, we submitted for the raise. And David's got this schedule, my grants manager has this schedule as well. We can send it to you.
Okay, so that was for the raise.
Yeah, raise,
And
bill.
Raise, build, and Tiger are all the same thing?
Yes,
They're all the
yes.
exact same thing, so this is the same one we applied for before.
May you yield, or are you still going?
I've still got more, but I'm happy to yield if it'll come back.
I could go, let's go to you, and then I'll come back to you, okay? It's all right?
Yeah,
I'm actually just curious what the line of questioning has to do with R 2640 before us tonight. We've been asked to approve to apply for this grant. So,
I'll
Yeah.
direct it.
And I'm going to speak to this, and I have been wanting to be careful to make sure that we stay on topic. This resolution authorizes the city to apply for a grant to put in up to whatever 20% of 2.25 million is. And so I think it is relevant to look at the project as a whole, whether we are going to spend this 20% of up to 2.25 million to have an understanding of what the later project is. And so I don't find that it's out of line with the discussion of this resolution.
Mr. Hamilton?
and to clarify, all these questions are based off the application. Literally the application, not the project as a whole, but the application.
Well, to
that we're being
understand,
asked to approve.
I'm not to interrupt you, but we've been talking about this since 2022, and you've been involved with some of it all along. Some of the questions you're asking, we've already discussed, but go ahead.
They haven't all been answered, though.
Go ahead.
Okay.
We're listening.
Excellent. So is the current plan focused solely on replacing the existing structure, or are we evaluating a broader multimodal design that includes like pedestrian, bicycle, economic development components, more innovation?
Yeah, when we did the raise in 2022, we had bicycle paths on each side to make those pedestrian friendly, and we've been building off of that. I'd have to defer to David, but I don't think we've taken that out because it makes us more competitive.
correct, we have not yet. In our typical section, we're showing with every application and plan on doing it. There's a 14-foot wide shared use path divided from the actual roadway, separated from the roadway for safety.
So that leads me into on the page I got about the key information questions on the grant, it says other federal funding committed. And so I trust that because we haven't got the award letter, we get to say no to that. Okay. We don't have a construction start date on that. So that, and you've answered my question about October 1st, 2026 planning. The merit criteria narrative in the application says that the sidewalks we have now are adequate for pedestrians. Is that, do y'all agree with that?
As far as width goes, yes. There needs to be some repair done on them, correct, to make them a smoother walk, ride, but, I mean, the width, everything, the width meets ADA compliance.
Okay, the application mentions the streetcar system multiple times and like making sure it's good for the streetcar. Is that a priority for the city?
No. No.
Then why does our application lean on it so heavily?
Mr. Hadcock?
To make us more competitive, the multimodal thing, it has been in the past that Rock Region, everybody has not showed any interest in taking the streetcar to the north. However, whenever we visited this a few years ago, the cost to make one of the lanes able to withstand a trolley car was minimal. in the overall project. So that was left in there. I mean, that can always be taken out, but that was left in there just in case in 15 years, there was the need to go forward or further north.
And like David said, I think we were trying to do things that weren't gonna cost a lot more, but give us a better competitive edge.
I can appreciate that. Thank you.
It'll essentially be just a concrete base underneath asphalt, so you wouldn't see what a separate trail or a path for a street.
Tracks aren't being laid yet. Okay. So 9 of the 10 photos in the application were from the same inspection report that we used last time in 2022. Did we consider updating those at all for any better photos from the last 4 years?
I need to go back and check, but I thought we used some from the 2025 inspection report.
I saw one that said 2025 on it.
Okay.
And again, I didn't see the email that came to you, but I can, if
I've
you
gotta go
forward
forward
it to me or
okay,
David
yeah.
forwards it, I can get with Kyle in the morning to make sure we have the same information.
Okay. What's the total cost estimate for this project at this point?
Right now, total, we're looking at 50 million. That's the most recent estimate I got, and that is from day one, survey, topo, planning, environmental design through construction, and construction observation from a
I'm
consultant.
sorry, could you repeat that one more time? I caught the last
sorry.
part, but I don't think I caught the figure.
50 million,
50
right at
million?
50 million.
$50 million. Okay, I note, in the application, I note at least a dozen paragraphs that were copy and pasted from the rejected application in 2022. So this wasn't copied. It says in our current application, 15,000 vehicles per day use that bridge. In 2022, we said more than 19,000 vehicles a day. I'm just wondering which one is it? Or,
Well, it could change over those years. Do
Did
you
it?
know, did you and Kyle discuss that number?
The average daily traffic, we did not, but they do it yearly. So I think the 2024 numbers are the most recent. So
okay,
we need to make sure that we're correct on that one.
so,
There's a
Okay.
lot of work that, goes into this grant. I remember back in '22 when we hired the consultant, I think it took her 5 months to do all the research. So yes, we do want to use as much as we can. And unfortunately, right now, we do have a grants manager who hasn't been here a long time. I don't have any other staff that can devote that much time to it. I know David doesn't have any time to devote on top of everything else he's doing outside of the meetings he has. So would I say everything in the grant application is perfect? Probably not, but we're trying to do the best we can to continue applying for these. And as Kyle is here longer, he's gonna get better at this. We've just had some turnover in this position, and it's been hard to find somebody that has the capabilities that we need to write these grants. But I think Kyle is doing an amazing job, and as he gets more familiar with just our city processes and goes through some more of these, I think he could be unstoppable.
in no way
Oh, I didn't-
am I denigrating staff at all that were pulled into this last minute, I think. So not at all. I think this is better than I would have done. So I'm not criticizing it at all in terms of staff work. I am trying to make the point that there more should be being done. So the anticipated design says 2 vehicular travel lanes and 2 shared lanes. What's the difference between those?
On that, I'm gonna have to go back and look, because the section should be 4 lanes, and I'm wondering if that goes back to the trolley usage.
Okay.
If that would have been the shared lane.
That classified as?
Correct.
That makes sense.
Because we're not gonna, we have a shared use path. We're not gonna allow it's not a bike facility,
So
outside the shared use lane.
speaking about the 14-foot shared use with the concrete barrier that's in the application, that sounds like kind of the new Broadway Bridge. I call it the new, it's probably.
Similar.
Similar to that. In 2022, it said, our application said The Main Street Viaduct's been given a superstructure rating of 4, poor condition. It's at the highest volume at poor condition bridge in the state of Arkansas. The project is of critical importance. Non-replacement of the bridge leads to a high likelihood that at some point the bridge may fail, possibly rather dramatically, and it might take years to replace, causing major transportation, economic, and social chaos until replacement could occur. In our, we said the exact same thing in this 2026. Now, I think it's a good statement. I think it's absolutely right, and I think it should be repeated. But is that, Mr. Mayor, is that the type of priority that this project is for the city?
Here's what I'll say. We started doing this at the second administration, and nothing had been done before. We understand the problems there is, and we're applying for all the grants. I don't think the city right now has $50 million. Are you suggesting we close the viaduct?
Absolutely not.
So therefore, we're doing everything we can that makes you happy and all the citizens happy, even though we have 15 to 19,000. Well, you asked me a question, I'm answering it. Thank you. So right now, am I happy with what we're doing? I'm very happy with the process that David and Ember are doing. You're back to you now.
Okay. So in, it said the initial conceptual layout in the 2022 application. The initial conceptual layout of the replacement bridge was prepared in 2011 by Garver Engineers. But the project was dropped shortly afterwards because of the cost and because of other coming roadway projects. The Broadway Bridge was replaced, and then the massive 30 crossing project began in the interim, which made it ill-advised to disrupt other key arterials. Realizing the potential harm to the city if the bridge fails, Mayor Terry Hartwick resurrected the project once he took office. That was 5 years ago. So we've applied for 6 grants. One was the raise in 2022. I think that was a great application, and I commend the city for that.
Thank you.
And in 2022, I've seen the applications for both. Those were almost copies of each other, which makes sense. In May of 2024 and May of 2025, we requested Senator earmarks for $2 million, which we probably have gotten, maybe. In 2025, we requested $400,000. In 2026, we're requesting $1.2 million for the planning phase.
2 point.
I'm sorry, 2.25, yeah, $2.25 million for the planning phase. We have $25 million in our reserve. I think we all know that getting some of the design work, the engineering work, according to the Department of Transportation that I've talked to, that is all considered part of the match once you get your grants. I'm wondering why we have not spent the money on the engineering and the pre-engineering and the design and the environmental in order to make this project shovel-ready so we can get those grants. And we've had 5 years.
Let me just make sure I understand what you were just saying. So we have to be very careful on spending money and then being able to apply it to a grant that we haven't been awarded yet. And we had this happen with some of the congressionally directed spending money where we had to come back to you all. And I harp on the departments that every grant is different. So we have to be careful. And David and I were talking today about the concern too. When you apply for a job or a grant, you don't want to be constantly pulling your application back because you say, well, we applied for this one too and we got it. So we're trying to balance these applications to get the most money for the city that we can and not getting ourselves in trouble where we're spending money before. So that's why we took in this 26 budget, the first step of the 600,000, because like we talked about earlier, that's not earmarked on one of these grants. So he can start using that. He's started doing this work to get these updated costs and stuff. So that money was put in the budget so he could go start that environmental request. And I think, you know, you advocated for that and we were able to get that in there.
Okay. So in the we received, you referenced the feedback we got from the 2022 grant. That was in October of 2011, or I'm sorry, October of 2022. It gave a number of very specific improvements in areas where we were lacking. I won't go through each one. Can you give me an idea of how this one, our previous application was more than 30 pages. This one comes in at, I think, 8. And I understand it's for a planning grant, which is much less.
And so to answer your question, unfortunately, I cannot, because 2022, I did so many things since then. I could go back and review it in the next couple of days and answer that question. But we also went through 3 grants managers in this time period as well. So we had different people touching these grants, going through learning curves. And again, not that I thought you were accusing us, but I just wanted to share with everyone, especially the newer people, we do so much in our office. He does so much. The tornado hit in between that, and that became priority. So I'm sorry, I cannot remember the comments from 22, but I could go back and look at it. I can barely even remember what I had for lunch yesterday.
Mr. Mayor, has your administration ever considered hiring someone? This is $50 million at this point. It's, to my knowledge, the largest infrastructure project the city's ever undertaken. And according to our application, it's supposed to last 100 years or more. It seems like a once-in-a-lifetime type opportunity, and if we have someone dedicated to this application, to other applications, stacking the applications, which is absolutely common practice. We haven't applied for the raise or the build grant in 3 years. Staff does exactly what they can. They are fantastic. Has your administration ever considered hiring a manager for this specific project?
Not yet, no.
And I'm going to interject here that that's getting a little off topic of what is before you, which is whether to.
And I've got to come to
approve
Ms.
this
Hart
grant.
if she's through. Are you through yet, Mr. Hamilton?
No.
Okay. You still got the floor then, it sounds like.
Thank you.
Can I ask a quick question about the?
I'll yield if I can get it back.
Ms. Hart?
I just wanted to ask about, what was the cost for, what was the cost for the previous consultant? Do you remember? No.
I don't. I'd have to go
Okay.
back and look, because again,
That's fine.
so many numbers go through my head.
Anybody on the left-hand side?
I got
Mr.
one
Harris, and I'll
question,
come back to you, Mr.
and-
Hamilton. Go ahead.
And you can obviously get it back, but my question is, you're very detailed and have done a lot of research on this. My question to you is, if I was doing that, I would have had a one-on-one meeting with them.
And again, this is not a period of time to ask
Instead of
other
what we're doing
council
now.
members
That's,
questions.
Ms. City Councilman, yeah, Ron still has the floor. I apologize, Councilmember Harris has the floor.
I'm just saying, in my opinion, this is not the place for this discussion. But you could have a one-on-one with them and anyway, that's fine, anyway.
So,
I'm done.
Thank you.
in addressing the application, I have had multiple conversations about this topic, about the application. I've emailed multiple times asking for updates and for progress reports. And right now, I often get asked questions like, what is the project scope and where are we at? And the response is similar to, we're working on it, or we've got a bid in, or we've asked for the Senate earmark. So for 4 years, we just asked the senator for $2 million. And we didn't spend $2 million, which according to all my contacts, which I've mentioned to staff and the mayor numerous times in emails that we get that money back. It's incredibly common to spend money on a project, to the bridge, planning, pre-engineering, and then to have that apply. You don't get it reimbursed, but you can have that amount apply to the city match. That we would eventually have to, we're gonna have $5 to $8 million on this project out of city funds.
And unfortunately, I respectfully disagree because we've been in that situation. So, you know, that can be blamed on me that I would not give that same advice that he's giving as your CFO. Now, we could look at individual applications, and there might be some applications that do allow that, but every application does not allow that. But there could be some. I don't know off the top of my head about this one. We'd have to look at a case-by-case basis. But just because of the situation we've been in before, I would not recommend that.
This application has a specific criteria, the rubric, what you're scored on, has a specific criteria for equity and for innovation. In every aspect, so considering the importance of this application, and the deadline is tomorrow, the website says we encourage all applicants to apply weeks, if not months in advance. Where is the urgency?
We had to wait on an updated cost.
Ma'am, Mr. Mayor, where's the urgency on this project?
It's urgent. It's urgent. So I have to depend on my city engineer and my CFO where we are. Meanwhile, as you said, we've been going at this since 21 or 22. There's urgent. That's the real question. Can you get this replied to by tomorrow? There's the urgency.
Unless the whole internet shuts down or their website shuts down. I mean, I'm going to say knock on wood, that has not happened to us. It's frequent that we might apply at the last minute because we have to go through our own processes. So I don't want to jinx this, but I talked to Kyle about it just to confirm all those things. He's got the account. He's ready to push the button after we get the signed resolution.
So we're waiting on the resolution tonight.
Which I fully support.
So you're
I'm done. Thank you. I appreciate y'all's patience.
Anybody else? Ms. Hart? No? Mr. Fowler? So Ms. Ross?
One question, and I've asked this them today, and so this is just a follow-up, just so that everyone knows that, my question is, we do this, we do all the, the environmental and all this, and then we don't get the application. How long is it still good for? And David, your answer was?
Yes, Councilmember Ross was asking if we get to a full design, if, 5 years down the road on any type of project, is the design still good? And I mentioned to her that there would be some minor tweaks that would have to happen, but it wouldn't go through the full process again. It would pretty much be like the plans were at 90% and take a month to get back to 100%.
So we wouldn't lose this money is what I'm getting at.
Ms. Hart?
I will say this, I do have a question for you all, just because I know it was long and drawn out, but as a council member listening, there was a lot of concerning things that he stated. So from my perspective, what I'm hearing is that we applied for a particular grant in 2022 where we had a consultant that was specifically aligned to do this work, to get us a good application to be submitted.
We didn't even have a grants manager position at that time.
But we had a
hired the
consultant.
And then after that, we got the approval.
But the grants
to hire the
manager
grants
isn't
manager.
solely committed to this though, right?
Correct.
Right,
And
so-
so we have a form in-house that we have to get the departments to fill out before he does anything for these types of reasons, because someone might come over and want $1,000 grant that they already have in their budget, and I'm wanting him to focus on these things, or some outside agency might want to come over. So he's learning these processes that we have to prioritize, and I have told him since day one, this is his priority.
So then it's questionable if we even submit this, because it seems like we're throwing stuff together at the last minute that may hurt our ability
We're
to.
not, no.
Okay, based on what I heard, that's what I'm hearing. That's why I wanted to ask, because that's the impression I'm getting, is that this won't be a good application based on the information that we were given in 2022 that gave us very specific indicators of what we needed to change, what we needed to strengthen. None of that, or most of that, we haven't done, and then we're resubmitting something very similar with less information because it's for a smaller project. I just don't want the city to, you know, sometimes people will check a box just to check a box, but it's not the best thing to do. So that's why I wanted to ask
I don't think that that's happened. While there may be some things, but I have not read the 22 one lately. I have not read all through this one to compare to the 22. David and Kyle spend a lot of time together. Again, he's been here less than a year, and while maybe it's not the best, but we always work to get better. So if y'all don't want us to submit it, we don't have to submit it. You can, you know, turn the resolution down, but he has spent a couple of months working on this, and I'd find that disappointing.
Okay, thank you, that's what I wanted to know.
Because we'll get feedback as well from this. But as I said, I've had 3 grants managers, so I think a different grants manager went through every one of these different processes, a consultant, then.
But it
he's the
sounds like
third
it would be
one.
helpful to both you and Mr. Cook if you guys had some additional help to prioritize this very important critical project that could be detrimental to like city infrastructure.
I'm gonna defer that more to him because he's the infrastructure design
Person.
I think Kyle can handle the grant. We're not juggling 50 grants at one time, and I don't want us to waste city resources on another person per se that wouldn't be busy the whole time, because Kyle can't do this by himself. He does have to depend on David. I think one grants manager right now, but we could see what happens when we get this back and evaluate it.
Mr. Hamilton?
So I'll have to disagree with you just in terms of opinion, not in terms of fact, but just in terms of opinion, that when in our application we say non-replacement of the current bridge leads to a high likelihood that at some point the bridge will be closed or may fail, taking years to replace, causing major transportation, economic, and social chaos until replacement could then occur. And this is 2027 is its 100th birthday. And my conversations with the Arkansas Department of Transportation, this is the only city-owned bridge in Pulaski County that's rated poor. It's one of only 28 city-owned bridges in the state that is rated poor. And it absolutely, by far, by almost exponentially, has the highest number of vehicle traffic on it.
And Mr.
And so this application, I'm wondering about how, do something, I'm trying.
Well, while Kyle's not here, he.
No,
had a
and I
prior-
don't want
No,
this to
he's-
be a thing about Kyle.
I just wanted to say he's watching and can be taking good notes. We will
Great.
talk to him tomorrow about some of the concerns. I've written some things down. I'll go back and watch to make sure we get it all, and we'll do the best we can.
Into the application? It's due tomorrow?
For the future.
Oh.
If we can get anything in it,
So-
I doubt, but I'll look at some of this language you're talking about.
So, Mr. Mayor, do you think it's worth it? Do you think it's worth it to get a new consultant that is focused squarely on this? If we hire someone at $150,000, a consultant, and they end up getting us, which is according to the cities I've talked to.
Miss City Attorney.
And this is off topic, we're what's on the table is a grant that's due tomorrow, and what's before you is to whether to vote applying for this grant or not applying for this grant that's due tomorrow.
Because we have to have the resolution, so if you all don't pass it, then there would be no reason to apply, because that's a requirement.
Let there be no mistake, I'm voting for the resolution.
Because there's a motion, there's a second right now?
The littlest. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it.
Motion second, please.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart?
Same.
Robinson,
I think they made it.
Baxter,
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
And Fowler.
Yes.
Thank you. R41, R2641, please. And I think it's got to be pulled too, or let's read it and then go from there.
Councilmember Hamilton,
Please call it.
a resolution authorizing the mayor and the city clerk to enter into a community garden license agreement with the Lakewood Property Owners Associations.
Motion to adopt.
Second. Yes, sir.
This is one of, as the council can see, I believe, 6 community garden license agreements. I'm on the community garden committee. That's why I agreed to sponsor this. I think it's a good thing. I don't like to have contracts or agreements on the consent agenda, but that's not a hard and fast rule because I can understand how these for $800 or $960 can get a little repetitive. But I also wanted to make it known that I can absolutely, or actually it's more like 7 or 8.
Yes, sir.
So if anybody would like to pull any of them to consider, I would think it would be appropriate, but I also don't want to waste the council's time.
Passed it, Mr. Hamilton.
What's that?
We've already approved them. We've already approved them.
Right.
Thank you. So where are we now? R2641, there was a motion,
On the
second?
motion, Ross,
Yes.
Second.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Hart,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Baxter,
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
And Fowler.
Yes.
I think we move forward to R2649 now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
Mayor Hartwick, a resolution, I'm sorry. A resolution waiving formal bidding requirements and authorizing payment to Duval Ford for the purchase of a vehicle for the North Little Rock Police Department.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Any discussion? Not, motion second?
On the motion, Ross.
Yes.
Hamilton.
Yes.
Hart,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Baxter,
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
And Fowler.
Yes.
I think we go now to R2654, I'm going to pull it.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to withdraw it, I'm going to withdraw it completely.
Okay.
And I don't believe there's anything left on the consent agenda, is it? That's what I say, is there, did I miss any, Miss? Okay. Huh?
Pulled R26.
I'm going to pull it completely and withdraw it.
Well, but 55, I believe, or one of them.
The one that you pulled for, the foundation, the mayor.
Yeah, wasn't there an additional one? Either
That's what I'm
55?
asking, is there one?
I thought there was,
I didn't see more,
No, that was.
I think
I
that
thought
was
I
all.
pulled one of the community agreements.
You pulled Thea Foundation and the mayor withdrew it.
I thought I pulled that one because I wondered if it was actually on there or
Oh.
not. But then I pulled an additional one to talk about the contract.
I pulled.
I'm fine with it.
Okay.
I'm
I don't
fine.
have any record of any
I'll
else
give
being
the
pulled.
council a break. Let's just roll.
We're going to
Okay.
the new resolutions, if I'm not mistaken, that'd go to R2659, read them one at a time, and I'll call a public hearing, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you,
Mayor Hartwick,
please.
a resolution certifying the amount of cleanup lien to be filed with the Pulaski County Tax Collector against certain real property located at 15 South Avalon Drive in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas.
With that, I need to call a public hearing. If those wishing to speak for or against R2659, please come to the microphone, R2659, wishing to speak for or against. See none, I'll adjourn it,
Move
please.
for adoption.
Second.
Second.
Okay. On the motion, Ross.
Yes.
Hamilton.
Yes.
Hart,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Baxter,
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
And Fowler.
Yes.
R2660, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
A resolution certifying the amount of cleanup lien to be filed with the Pulaski County Tax Collector against certain real property located at 308 Crockett Street in the city of North Little Rock.
Thank you. With that, I need to convene another public hearing. Those wishing to speak for or against R2660, please come forward. R2660, for or against. See none, I adjourn.
Move for adoption.
Second.
On the motion, Ross.
Yes.
Hamilton.
Yes.
Hart,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Baxter.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
And Fowler.
Yes.
R2661, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
A resolution certifying the amount of cleanup lien to be filed with the Pulaski County Tax Collector against certain real property located at 13 West 47th Street in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas.
Again, I need to convene a public hearing on R 2661. Those wishing to speak for or against, please come forward. Those wishing to speak for or against. Seeing none, I will adjourn. Please.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Okay, on the motion, Ross?
Yes?
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Fowler?
Yes.
R 2662, Mayor Hartwick.
Please, ma'am.
A resolution certifying the amount of cleanup lien to be filed with the Pulaski County Tax Collector against certain real property located at 4212 School Street in the city of North Little Rock.
Thank you. Again, I need to convene a public hearing. Those wishing to speak for or against R 2662, please come forward. For or against. Seeing none, I adjourn. Please call it.
Move for adoption?
Motion adopted. There's a second.
Okay, on the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Fowler?
Yes.
O 2613, Councilmember Ross.
Please call it.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 9079, which adopted rules and procedures for the North Little Rock City Council declaring an emergency. First reading.
In the reading?
Second.
Okay, on the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Fowler?
Yes.
Move for adoption?
Second.
Okay, on the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Fowler?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Fowler?
Yes.
This concludes new business.
And Mayor, if I may on that, council members, I will get you an updated copy of the rules and regulations by email now that this has been adopted so that you'll have a complete set that reflects this amendment. And I'll get that to you this week.
I appreciate it. Any comments from the council? Mr. Hamilton?
I want to check before I talk about it. Is this pretty much open season? I won't do that. You're welcome. But we have, a resident brought this to my attention, and I did want to discuss it because it was, well, it's how we do, how we sell or rent or do any kind of real estate transaction in the city. We have a city code that says that it's required to come before the city council for, we have to vote on it. It shall come before us in order to discuss how we're going to advertise that piece of property. And I understand that we probably haven't followed that very much. And maybe it's the council's wish to change that. But I don't believe that's a legal argument until the council does change it. And I'm just making a note that we sold real estate and we've been selling real estate apparently without following section 24A of our own code, which requires, it's hereby mandatory that any consideration by any municipal official, department head, employee, agent, or representative of the city to sell, convey, lease, rent, or let any real estate owned or controlled by the city shall be immediately brought before the city council for consideration and approval with regard to the manner of advertising the terms of the subsequent distribution of real property. The section, I'm not an expert, I could be missing something, but that really says to me that there's a law, or there's a requirement that this city council passed in 1980 that I believe is still in effect. Is that correct? And I believe the city council, we haven't updated our code in a while. We do it on the regular piecemeal, but this is something that we probably haven't updated, and we may have never even followed it.
And this was brought to my attention as well as yours and Councilmember Ross's and the mayor's by a business owner in Ward 1 who's not a resident of the city, and that actually is in the 1980 municipal code. I have done some research. I could not find one resolution ever or a minute from a city council meeting where the provisions of 2.4A were complied with. Not one instance. Now, I may not be, let me finish, please. The state law provides that sale of real estate can be approved based on the vote of a majority of the council present and voting. Every piece of property that this city has sold or leased since I have been here and in time immemorial has complied with state law. And while the code could definitely use some updating to look for ordinances that have become obsolete, I think most cities you will find ordinances along the lines of you can't stop your horse on the street by a saloon that are still on the books. And so I do think that there would be some value in that. However, I will also say that I don't have any heartburn about the city's sales and leases of property for the last 55-plus years, or my math's not good, 45 years since that 1980 code was adopted.
Yes, sir.
Would it be appropriate to get a opinion from someone else? Because that, and I'm thinking, like, what do you do when you're unsure? Because I'm seeing that we didn't follow the code on this. And I don't equate a law that says the city has to advertise real estate before they could sell it as being equivalent to, your dog can't poop somewhere, or spitting on the sidewalk or something. But I would think that and now that it's brought to my attention, I'll look at the minutes and see why they passed it, requiring advertisement.
And I can't tell you that, and if you can find those minutes, I'd be interested in looking at them as well. As the chief legal counsel for the city, it is actually my job to give legal opinions to the council, which in reviewing this is what I have done. The Attorney General's not my boss, and I feel comfortable with what I have said. If any of you all desire to seek a legal opinion from the Attorney General, you are absolutely welcome to do so. But as the city's chief legal counsel, in reviewing state law on what it takes to approve a sale of property, I feel comfortable that the sales of property that have taken place by the city are compliant with state law and are legitimate and valid. And like I said, I do, Ms. Hart, anyway, I do feel like it would be a worthwhile effort to look at the code just in general, because it has been so many years since it has been updated.
Respectfully, thank you.
Anybody else? Okay.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that, I got I was going to ask that same question, because it still seems kind of unresolved in my mind. You're saying that even though it's a code, you don't, even though it's something that's written in our code, that you don't feel that we have done anything. Make that statement for me again, so I can just be clear based on how I'm seeing what the code actually says versus what we're actually doing.
Right, and because I would love to see that portion of the code repealed. I do not think that a court of law would overturn the sales of property in the city of North Little Rock over the last 45 years that have been approved by this city council, that have had good consideration paid for them, that have the property has been transferred, and I would like to see that cleared up. I'm not saying it was necessarily the best way to do things, this was brought to my attention last week, as I'm sure it was yours, and it's something that I'd like to get cleaned up, but I don't think that we are going to have sales of property like so many that I've been involved with it, even in the past 8.5 years, that those transfers will be invalidated.
Anybody else?
So move.
So move.
Second.
Okay, on the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Robinson? Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Fowler?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I was,